Verbal riot.
So last night, me and some friends went to a screening of the new movie by Matt Walsh, Am I Racist? And I got to tell you guys, this movie is wild, man. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Matt Walsh. He is I guess they consider him a right-wing, puritanical conservative. And by puritanical, I mean he's very old school, but he believes in things like a woman's place is at home with the kids, cooking dinner every night, right? Which is fine. I'm politically homeless. I don't care for either side. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. If a woman wants to stay home and cook for her family all day, she's free to do that, right? That's her right to do that as an American citizen. If a woman wants to go pursue a career and be single, that is her prerogative as well. And she has a right to do that. I just believe in freedom. Freedom to do whatever you want outside of messing with kids or animals. Just saying. But no, Matt Walsh is a very controversial figure. And if you guys have ever seen any of his videos, if you've read anything from the Daily Wire, you kind of get a gist of what his politics are, what his social standing is. And honestly, you know, there's some things I agree with Matt Walsh. Some things. There's other things I don't. I don't always see eye to eye with the man, I'll be honest with you. But he's not wrong all the time. He's pretty on the nose, actually. And I actually had the privilege, I say privilege because it was a good movie, of getting an early screening of What is a Woman, his previous movie before Am I Racist? And I reviewed that movie. And you know what's crazy is that I was literally one of the few critics to review that movie and have it on Rotten Tomatoes. He had like maybe 3 critic ratings because other critics, other Hollywood, very liberal critics, leftists, I should say, not even liberal, decided that they were too good to review Matt Walsh's film. They didn't want to lower themselves to review his movie, which is ridiculous. You're a film critic. Do your job. Your job is to review movies, not take a moral stance. But I digress. Am I Racist? For me, because I gave What is a Woman a very good review. But for me, Am I Racist? It puts it over the top, man. Like, this movie, for me, is 1,000 times better than What is a Woman because I literally could not stop laughing the entire time I'm watching the film. And it wasn't just me. The entire theater was just laughing their ass off, man, because it's ridiculous, but scary in a way that this is all real. This is all true. This is all what's going on right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you guys a clip of the trailer if you haven't seen it, just so that you kind of understand what this movie is all about. It's a documentary. Some people call it a mockumentary, but it's not. It's actually a documentary. This is all real. It's just told in a very comedic way.
Let's be clear, what's happening in this country, it's Nazism. Republicans are Nazis. You cannot separate yourselves from the bad white people.
Growing up in the 90s, I never thought much about race. Sure, you noticed, but never really seemed to matter that much, at least not to me.
Being a white, straight, cisgender man, it's the top of the pile.
I'm on the top of the pile. That's me. Am I racist?
I would really appreciate it if you left.
I'm trying to learn. I'm on this journey.
Can you please leave?
If I'm going to sort this out, I need to go deeper undercover. If I want to be an ally, I need to look like one.
What is racism?
Martin Luther King said not to judge people by the...
Martin Luther King said a lot of stuff.
Is America inherently racist?
What the hell is that?
The word inherent is challenging there. America is racist to its bones. All of the...
So inherent.
Yeah.
The entire system has to burn. And I'm not going to even use save this country. This country is not worth saving. This country is a piece of shit.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
They gonna say I'm racist.
Joining us now is Matt, certified DEI expert.
Here's my certification. Where are you guys in your anti-racist journeys? So I'll look around the room and point to who we believe is the most racist person in the room. We want to rename the George Washington Monument to the George Floyd Monument. Would you mind signing it? You will? What do you think about this issue of heteronormativity and how it intersects with the broader structures of racism in society?
They gonna say I'm
So I'm not going to play the whole video, guys. It's like 2 minutes long, but you get the gist. Matt Walsh decides to go undercover to deconstruct racism in America. And the way he goes about it is hilarious because the movie starts out with him going to a group as himself, as Matt Walsh, and he doesn't say his last name, but he goes to this group hosted by this black woman. And it was a group with nothing but white folks in the group except for her. And she's teaching them how to absorb, how to focus in on their inner racism, right? So eventually they find out who he is and they kick him out the group. They even called the police on the guy saying that they felt unsafe with Matt Walsh there. And I'm like, really? You felt unsafe? And he leaves. So he decides, you know what? I need to go deep undercover. He puts on the soy boy disguise, right? He puts on the wig with the hair bun. He puts on the skinny jeans. He looks like your average, typical LA liberal, right? And the way he goes about this, I got to give the man credit, man. I mean, this was trolling on a level of like Sacha Baron Cohen. This was like Borat level trolling he was doing to these people. And he focuses in on this one author named Robin DiAngelo, who wrote this book called White Fragility. And I guess it was a #1 bestseller. She's gotten a lot of fame, a lot of notoriety from this book. She's written other books too, like I think one is called White Lies, and she's written a bunch of other, books about why white people should feel bad about being white, right? So the whole focus in on the story is like he's reading this book and he's trying to get in touch with his own inner racism, and so he decides to just go all out and become an ally. So he even takes this DEI course and gets certified. He gets certified in DEI. And there's like hilarious scenes where he's walking the streets and he has his DEI card that he got in the mail and he's kind of flashing it like a badge, right, to people on the streets. And he's questioning them, mostly white people, questioning them about their racism. And it's very tongue-in-cheek, but the sad thing about it is that this is all real and people really believe this stuff. There was a scene, and I'm telling you, I normally don't spoil movies I like. I don't spoil movies that I recommend, but I just got to tell you guys about this one scene, man. They do a reenactment of the Jussie Smollett mugging or attack, and it is probably the funniest thing I've seen all year. All year. This reenactment of Jussie Smollett being attacked by the MAGAs. Matt Walsh should get an award for this because the theater was on their knees laughing. I literally spit out my drink. Like my insides were hurting. I was laughing so much at this. Like it is wild. It is wild. But that's just one scene, right? Like there are so many other amazing scenes in this film that will just have you laughing. There's this show that it's not a show. I guess it's a seminar, if you will. It's called Race to Dinner. And what it is, it's hosted by these two women of color, this black woman named Regina Jackson and this Indian woman. I can't tell what she is. She's brown. That's all I know. She's brown. She's not black. She's a Kamala. Right? And her name is Sarai Rao. And they host this dinner where these two women sit at the head of the table. The dinner table and they're having actual dinner with nothing but white women. And they all look like suburban white women or kind of well-to-do white women. And literally the whole point of this dinner is for them to beat these women down about their whiteness. And so Matt Walsh infiltrates that. And he even has them toasting to racism. They don't how he gets them to do that, I don't know, but he does this to a lot of people in this film. To all these race experts, he gets them to do these crazy things. And Robin DiAngelo, the author of White Fragility, and I'm only saying this because this is in the news right now. This is on Twitter X. He gets her to come out of pocket. She basically takes $30 out of her purse and gives it to a black guy for reparations. I lost it, man. The fact that he got this woman to do that, it was so bad. This woman deactivated her X account. This best-selling author who had thousands of Twitter followers deactivated her account. By the way, so did Sarai Rao, the one from Race to Dinner, the Kamala chick. Her, I think Regina Jackson did. There's another race expert. I think her name is Kate Slater, who got all these women, all these people who got caught up in this movie have deleted their social media because of the embarrassing things they did in this movie. And it is hilarious. Guys, I really can't recommend this movie enough. The thing, though, guys, for me, that kind of just doesn't sit well with me, that bugs me, isn't about the movie so much itself. It's about the fact that Matt Walsh, he shines a light on something that I don't think maybe most people might miss when they're watching this movie. But I caught it, and when I caught it, man, I was thinking, man, it sat with me because I saw this movie with Chris Gore. I saw it with DA Derek Anderson, both YouTubers, and so we all saw this movie together. And Derek is black, and I remember Chris had went to the bathroom, and me and Derek were talking, and the thing that came to mind for me, and I was telling Derek this was, man, there is big business, there is big money in racism. That's what this movie kind of shows you, because every time he sits down to talk with a race expert in this movie, he puts up a big sign with a dollar amount of how much it costs for their presence, for him to have an interview with them. This is their fee. Now, I know that's not unusual for influencers or for certain celebrities to have a fee to sit down with them. I look, I get that. Like, I haven't been doing YouTube that long, but I've been in media long enough to know how this works. That's fine. But my thing is, there is big money in racism. There is big money in keeping racism alive. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, why am I out here trying to make an honest living like a schmo, right? Like a sucker, when I could be out there race hustling myself. I could be getting that bag, I could be eating well. I like nice things. I would love to have nice things. So why aren't I race hustling? Because that's where the money is. There is money in making us fight, right? There's money in making white people feel guilty about just being white. They could be born, they could have been born 10 years ago, and they have to feel guilty for being white. Right? It's wild. And I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of critics, just like in What is a Woman? There's going to be a lot of critics who aren't going to review this movie because they feel they're above it, or they're trying to virtue signal, or both. And I feel like this movie is going to slip under the radar, unfortunately. Because I think, honestly, I think everyone should see this movie. I think everyone in America should see Am I Racist? Whatever you feel after you watch it is whatever. But you need to watch this movie just to understand that there is a lot of money tied into racism, into keeping it alive, is what I'm trying to say. These people don't want racism to go away because they are eating off of this. Why would you want your product to go away? And believe me, racism is a product. It is a big product in America, especially. And honestly, on both sides of the aisle, it's not just liberals. I mean, racism is a big product for conservatives too. But I think liberals benefit from it more. And if we're going to be really messed up about it, if we're really going to get deep into it, it's actually black people that are the product. We are the product. Because you can't sell racism without black folks. Don't get me wrong. You could be racist against any other people, Asian, Latino, Indian, whatever. You could be racist, but there's nothing like black racism, right? Because you can have different products that sell okay, but black racism sells better than any of those products, right? I mean, it does. Look, Matt Walsh, whether you like him or not, I get it. I get it, because I don't always agree with him. But on this, I very much do. I feel like this movie is needed right now, especially because of this election coming up. I think people just need to see this, man. They need to understand that we're being duped. We're being duped. And when I say we, I'm really talking more specifically to black people than anybody else. Black people are being duped into thinking that these liberals, these white liberals who are fighting for us, these allies, they are benefiting from this. Even if it's not from money, they're benefiting from social standing. They're getting something from this. Why do you think white liberals do this? If it's not black people, then it's the LGBTQ, right? They always have to have a fight, a cause, because it benefits them. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. I'm not here to preach. I'm here to review a movie, and guys, go watch it. Go watch What Is a Woman. I guarantee you are going to love it. It is, to me, best comedy of the year. Easily. You will laugh and you will cry. Because you're going to cry from laughing so hard. Like, Matt Walsh knocks it out the park. I highly recommend it. And I'm probably going to see it again, to be honest with you. I'm taking other friends to go watch this movie. So anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Just want to say again, got to do a little promo for this. For those who become members of my channel, I am doing my late night Saturday streams, and they're funny, they're fun, they're cool. It's unhinged, it's uncensored. We're drinking, we're talking about just random things. We're having a good time. So if you haven't become a member of my channel, please do it. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I do have my Patreon coming out, which is going to be my more social, political things. So, that's coming very soon. I had a hiccup, but it's coming, guys, soon. But other than that, guys, like this video, share it, retweet it, like and share it, comment on it, all those good things. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll talk to you guys soon.